podcast. Today I talked to Melly Ullah. Melly is currently a full-time student in Florida, but I've known him on social media for years. He's posted a lot of creative photo, video, and done everything. He's always been networking with people online. He's always been posting bangers worth of stuff. Now he spends most of his free time recording for the UCF athletic department, and then from his free time from there, he spends his time just doing his own thing. Making an extra buck, making music videos, blah, 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 blah. He's done it. He's a hustler. Had a great time talking to him with voice for the first time. All around good vibes, a lot of good stuff there. Let's get into it.
Yo, Melly, how we doing, bro?
Doing good. How about you, bro?
Freaking fantastic. I woke up not knowing if I wanted to do a Monday today, but after doing the motions, I don't feel too bad.
Loki, I feel like I had more of an unproductive day. I woke up, I missed class because I took a Benadryl last night to headache relief and shit.
Yeah.
And I'm class. I just ended up having a Taco Monday, actually, not even a Taco Tuesday.
Rick.
We drove 30 minutes out. We saw an Instagram reel of this taco place, and it was 30 minutes away. So me and my roommates just went and So that was the entire day.
That sounds pretty productive, man. Going after something you saw at least,
Yeah, I guess. Increasing other people's business.
Yeah. Dude, I thought for the longest time UCF was in Gainesville. I had them switched around. Y'all are in Orlando. I'm like, Gainesville's so boring, but like Orlando's got to be pretty fired.
Yeah, you're thinking of UF.
Because I watched the Tim Tebow documentary and I'm like, no way, UF's in Gainesville? I thought that was UCF. But yeah. How's the college life, bro?
It's good. I mean, we're filming every game. Like recently, I just shot a game. I was already halfway in the edit.
Yeah.
During halftime, we were blowing them out. It was our second Big 12 game, but first home Big 12 game. And it was packed out. We were sold out. We blew them out. It was I think 27-0, third quarter. By fourth quarter, it's 30, 33, 35. And
oh no.
Then they were up within I think less than a minute left, and we were fucked.
Yeah,
I got so many shots, but I can't do anything with it. So it's
right. Do you have a strict no post policy or something?
No post. It's anything. We try not push out content if we lose because it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But they try and get some stuff out, but I just lost the hope inside. When we lost, I'm like, damn, there's no point. We just lost. We can't post a video and act like nothing just happened. So
right.
Better luck next time.
Yeah. Obviously, me and you both know a ton of other people from other schools that do that same type of thing. How does UCF's kind of creative team compare to other colleges that you see other kids working at?
Well, for one, we obviously know Jeremy from Georgia Tech, and I got to meet him last year and stuff. And he's a pretty cool dude. But to put it in perspective, different schools have different amount of money for these type of programs, and UCF definitely is one of those poverty programs when it comes to the media team. But the team itself has so much money. But the thing I like about UCF is we don't let that stop us. Even though we have to use some of our own gear for most of our stuff, the crew still kills it every time, and we make the most of what we have. And even people for interns, we don't get paid, we don't get anything, and we still work twice as hard. So it's pure dedication on our team, and these people are just hungry to create content, get out there pushing their content. I really respect that.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, there's nothing that they can really get on their end other than attraction from people. So it's literally for pure just creating, and I admire.
Yeah, that is a beautiful thing. One thing I have that I did respect was their collab posting with the creators that make it. I've never seen that before. I think I saw something on your feed that it was on the UCF accounts. So that's probably something those lesser poverty whatever programs could get away with, which is super nice,
Yeah, they actually recently just did that, and it started kind of I'm pretty sure it started on me first. One of the people that we used to intern on our team, he was on the photo team, and that is Julian J. Bright. he ended up graduating this year, and he ended up securing a position with UCF marketing. So now he's in charge of like all the social media related things. And I had posted it, and it was just like, it was a one-shot post. Like, I just really liked the shot, and I posted it, and people on my team were like, yo, this is really cool. Like, and he hit me up, and he was like, yo, you should have just collabed with like UCF football. And I was like, wait, like, I didn't think that was possible, because before, UCF wouldn't even comment under my stuff. Like, their football team was just like, they would push out content, had nothing, no ties to any of the creators. And now, like, Julian, like, you know, one thing I really like about what he's doing is he's pushing us to, you know, stand outside the box. UCF has been, and so many other football teams have been just posting like just, you know, pure highlights or game replays and action and stuff like that and all this stuff. So no matter what page you go to, it's always the same video or same like style and stuff, but nobody really goes outside the box and tries to change things. And like, one thing I like about him is he tries to get stuff like that out. Like, he's like, let's like, you know, it's cool making that stuff, but like, let's try and do something different, and like, let's try and push more content that's different. So he really pushes us to like, you know, experiment stuff, and I really fuck with that.
Yeah. How many guys are kind of in your like, you know, intern team or whatever?
We have a photo team, video team, and then a marketing team separately. So there's a lot of people, but I'm in the video team, and I think we have like a good like we have like, I would say 10 to 12.
Okay.
About like roughly around there.
And it sounds like there's, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, those are just interns. And then we have like, I think 4 people that actually work for UCF itself.
Right. It sounds like you got a system down. You know, you're trying to get the edits done during the game and stuff like that. You know, you get that.
You know how I work. Like, I usually like, you know, like, this is, so that video you did see, that kind of violated a Big 12 code, because we can't like shut down all the lights, and we did do that. So that kind of put us in a watch list for like the thing. So most of our games now are going to be probably during the day because of that, because we're like, they don't trust us like that no more. So that was the first game I shot during the day, like this semester. And I've recently changed up my grading, like you've seen. So I grade on DaVinci now. Yeah. I was just super hyped to like grade. So I like, during halftime, I came back to the office and I just started editing, and everyone, like all the interns are looking at my stuff like, yo, bro, like, so leak the sauce. That shit's so cool. And I'm over here like, I'm like, oh, nah, chill. And then third quarter comes, I'm like, I have a good chunk of like, just like, you know, ambience and stuff down, just like vibes and stuff. And that shit's fucked, bro. Like, they catch up, and I'm like, okay, you know what? Let me stop editing for a second. Like,
yeah.
So there's.
You graduated with the 2-year before you went to UCF, right?
Yeah, so I actually transferred from a state college. I didn't have like 2 years, but I had like a year done of my AA. And I transferred. I did like a semester of community college, and I was like, bro, this feels like lower than high school. This feels like middle school. So I like transferred out, and I came to UCF, and then I got on their media team.
Yeah. And how's kind of that, you know, when you grew up, you kind of just made media for fun and did your own thing. How was kind of, you know, getting into kind of a systematic kind of media thing? Did you like it? Did you dislike it? How'd you feel about it?
The thing with that is it was definitely different, because I've never created in a team. It was just like, you know, always like, you know, like the travel videos that we came from, it would be like creating just like I took a trip with my friends, and boom, like here's a quick edit, or here's vibes. But like being on a team, it's like, yo, like this person has this job, and you're here to do just this job. And it's like, once you're done, drop the footage, make an edit, boom, that's it, call it a day. And it's like, it feels, sometimes it is quick to feel like a job, but then it's like, you know, like it gets fun too when you learn like what you need to get. Since I'm like dedicated fan shots and tailgates and stuff like that, I like just do that kind of stuff, and like I try and like change things up, so it gets fun.
Oh, 100%. And then how does traveling work? Are you able to travel every game?
So usually what they do for like our away games, it's mostly like out of state. It's usually just the people that are like, you know, are working on full-time like for UCF content. So it's like our like people that are above us. But I know last year, like usually they don't do this, but last year what ended up happening was we had a game at FAU, which is like 3-4 hours away, and we have a bus where like the workers go and stuff, like people that help. So I was like, yo, like what are the chances? Because we know Alex Hampstead, she was in she like records for FAU. So I was like, that would be cool to like meet her. So I asked like the people that have full-time position, like, yo, what are the chances that me and like a couple other people could like, go and jade? They're like, oh, like we'll see. Like we ended up actually going. It was pretty cool. There definitely is a lot of hate from the other team though. Like going on content to another team's field. There were like so many, and we have to wear UCF merch most of the time. So I wore that. And they're like, oh, like fuck UCF and all this stuff. I'm like, damn, like, and like some of them were coming at me personally. I was like, damn, like, it's really not that serious. I just do this as work. Like,
Yeah.
I like creating like, like your question you asked previously, like I like creating for UCF, but at the same time, I try and like create other things separate from that, like the whole concert scene or just random trips and stuff. It just bringing different style into like different things basically is like what I find really cool.
Yeah. It's cool. Like I'm feeling a more, chill aspect with your media team. Mine was like very seniority based, right when I got to Iowa State, I'm like, hey, I'm going to go try this out. And like right away, they're just kind of like, yeah. So like, the underclassmen kind of record the smaller events, like, the soccer and the whatever, those kind of events. And then once you get the big guns, you can go to the football games. So I like how you're just able to like hop on the team and then you're able to do football games. Like my school made it hard to get onto that field.
You go directly to football games,
yeah,
but pretty open on letting you shadow and like because we like fill a position. We have like at least 6 people on the field recording from different angle stuff, and then on top of that we have like like a couple people doing fan stuff like me, and then there's people like on editor side. Like we just always have people everywhere, so that way it's always better to have more than less. You know what I mean? So
yeah. I haven't even looked at UCF. How are they doing, like in the Big 12? Are they in the Big 12 as of this year?
No, we actually are in the Big 12. So far, not good, but hopefully, we're locked in and we get it going.
Yeah. We're in the same conference now, me and you.
Yeah, I know. So that should be interesting.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I mean, Baylor's no hate, but Baylor's like not really all that, and we like just took an L to Baylor. So hopefully, like we step up and do something, but for right now it's not looking too good.
yeah.
And it's up for the Big 12, so hopefully we don't leave a bad remark on that.
Right. Talk me through who all have you gotten to like meet, traveling or whatever, them coming to you. You met Alex?
So I met Alex. I met who was it? I met J Dope. I met pretty sure that's it so far. Like there hasn't been, I'm not like really connected to many teams, but from our circle, that's been it so far. And definitely like I haven't been like doing away games much because it's just like so hectic with like class and stuff. But and it's also like, they barely send people out there like for away. So for the most part, it's just those 2 people that I've met.
Yeah. And how important, like to me, you've been like an OG. How important have like social media connections been to you and your growth as a creator and even as a person?
Honestly, it started off with like, like having like a lot of connection is really cool and stuff. But at the end of the day, I just saw it as like social media because no matter how many followers I got, no matter like what happened, all this just felt like an app. And like I would create and it took a big toll on me, and that's why like I took like such a big break from social media, like from creating. I was just like, every time I would post, I would put in countless amount of hours, and then all those hours had to be redeemed by like people commenting, reposting, and all that stuff. And to be honest, that's not really even up to the people. It's like up to Instagram. So when Instagram doesn't push it, I would take it personally and be like, damn, my work's ass. Like maybe I didn't do it well enough. Like maybe this is wrong, that's wrong. At the end of the day, I just totally forgot why I started all this. And it's like, it just brought me back to my roots, and I was like, okay, like I'm not creating for anyone to see. I'm creating, and then people are seeing. So all of this is just for me on how I see the world. And on the top, like people were there's like people that like it, use it as inspo and all that stuff, and I really do appreciate that. But yeah, at one point it did get ahead of me, and I let it get to me. But the connections were super dope because it was like I would meet all these people I'd see on Instagram, like shooting for other teams, and I would see them in real life, and I'm like, wow, like this is you, this is your work, this is so cool. Like being able to finally meet people like Alex and Jeremy like in person, it was cool, and like we all flicked up and stuff too. So
Yeah, yeah. And I feel like most of our demographic of people have definitely been less aggressive on Instagram. But what I think has come true is like I know you got your group of people that you're always meeting up with. Did you go to San Diego for that event? Oh, maybe one time?
yeah, talk to you and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like it's just like it's pretty much half the creator crew. Like we all met up for All For You and stuff, and we do it every year. We just like cliff jump and stuff, and it's so cool. It doesn't even feel like an event anymore. It just feels like I'm going out, and it's also on my birthday too. Like they usually do All For You on June 17th, which is also my birthday. So for me, it just feels like I'm going out for my birthday to like, hang with my friends and stuff. And it's always a crazy story, bro. It doesn't even feel like these are people I met on Instagram. It's just like, yo, like these are like I've known them like my entire life type shit. Like,
Yeah. Well, I just did a trip I texted you last week that I was in Michigan. It was like a last week music video trip. Really fun. I don't know if you've ever heard of Josh Horton. He's just a creator on Instagram.
yeah, no, I follow him. No, he makes like some cool merch and visuals, bro.
Yeah, he's amazing. He's just a genuine guy and all that. But we met up, and the first day didn't feel real, but by day 2 it was like, yo, we're just like hanging out right now. Like we're just here, man. It's the weirdest feeling ever. But
That's how it is, because it's like, like go back 10 years and it was looked upon as like a weird thing, like, oh, like you're meeting a random person on Instagram, like that could be a serial killer and stuff. And now we're just meeting random creators, and it's like, yo, like we're friends. Like that's so cool. Yeah,
yeah, I love it. Kind of, what are you in? What's your goal with college and what you're pursuing and stuff like that?
it's actually crazy you asked that, because it's like I almost don't even know at this point. I'm like doing all this film stuff on the side, and it's like it's getting a good attraction and stuff like that, and people are like, wow, like you're gonna go so far with this. But it's like I'm not even going to school for that. I'm literally going to school for like computer science and stuff. So like a lot of people don't even know, like I literally like am living a double life where I'm like working for UCF, shooting concerts, doing this, and like creating all this stuff, but also the little amount of time that I have left in my life, I'm busy doing school and coding and all this stuff. And it's like that is like a full-time life for other people. So I'm having to like split both of those things into two and put in enough time for school and work, but also the same time as my passion. And it does get like exhausting sometimes, but yeah, that's motivates me even more doing it.
Right. And how do you like computer science itself, like the coding life? Not feeling it?
No,
Not it. Dude, I always want to say, like, if I were to relive life and like I wouldn't have taken, my leap towards entrepreneurship so fast, like computer science isn't the worst way to go. In my opinion. I mean, but you're living it right now. Maybe I'm wrong.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with that, because I'll say it straight up, I'm doing it for the money. It pays so well, and it's so like, I'm not gonna say it's easy, definitely not. Like the class I'm taking, they're literally weed out classes for people that are just doing it for that. So you really have to learn. But once you do learn and you have somewhat of a will to live and work in the field, you do make a good amount of money. And that's the reason I'm doing it, because no matter how big I get in the video side, whatever it is, you never, the industry we're in, it's like, it's not stable. I'll say this, I worked, when I went out this summer, so California for All For You, I somehow ended up getting a gig for T-Mobile, and I shot an ad for T-Mobile on an iPhone. Like, I didn't even direct it. I was literally a cameraman and edited for a whole week, multiple, like a lot of revisions, like at least 3 to 5 revisions a day. And it was like big revisions where it was like I would take a couple hours to load it, and all within time I was flying. So it'd be like T-Mobile was like, yo, like we need this edit out by like in the next like 30 minutes. And I'm like, yo, I'm about to board my flight in like 20 minutes. Like that's not really possible. And it was such a stressful thing. But even then, like, you know, you get work done, it feels good. I secured that, ended up, it was base pay was like 3K. Taxes took out a lot. Right after that, I ended up securing another job with a client. I flew out to Minnesota, and it was a wrestling client I shot for. It was pretty hectic, but ended up doing that. They paid for everything, another 3K, and then I ended up shooting D1 Ninjas. It was like, you know, like the people on TV that do like the rope swinging and all that stuff. Like,
Yeah.
it's like little like ninja stuff.
Yeah.
It's actually a sport, and I was a photographer for that. 3 days, 2,000. So like it was like a 7K base rate month, and I was like, wow, like a kid going from like a couple $100 like every 2 months just hit 7K mark in 1 month. Like this is amazing. But then the next month came, and I was like, okay, where's the work? All these came to me. Well, I didn't really, was just like, okay, like where am I going with this? The next month was super slow. I think I didn't actually have anything, and it's the next 2 months were also slow, and there's not much. So it's like with this job, like, you know, it's hard unless you're like, you have to wake up every day like, okay, what do I do? Like, what do I shoot to make this money stuff? So it's like, that's just not something I want my future to worry about, like waking up every day and thinking like, okay, I need to do something today or else I'm not making money, other than having a, you know, job where I code something, or I'm trying to be a project manager. So not really code, but manage that stuff, get it done, knock it out, and boom, I'm done with that. And then I can do like my film stuff on the side. Like I'll still be doing that, but I'm trying to find a middle ground where I can do both project management and video editing all in one, secure payment, and boom, we're good type of thing.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I love that plan. I mean, yeah, you to get a consistent flow of video work, you gotta get up for about 4 months straight and be like, I'm literally ride or dying this. Like it's do or die. Like you have to go at it every day. Like it's intense. So, but that's the realest thing ever, you know, 7K 1 month, and then the next month you're at 0, you know?
And it's, a lot of people don't see that. Like, you know, I used to look at all my friends out in LA, and I'm like, you know, like they're like, yeah, I'm making like 7-8 bands a month, all this stuff. Like we're doing good. But realistically, it's like, they're grinding out there to make that 7K. It's not like, oh, like they're sitting on their ass and, you know, making 7K.
Yeah.
There's a lot of editing jobs I picked up from my friends in LA, and it was like, you know, like so less for so much. And I was like in shock. I edited a podcast video, like an hour of cuts, probably over a couple hundred like little segments of cuts, and match audio and match different angles and all that stuff, all for $100. I think I worked like 8+ hours editing that, and I was like, I vowed myself never again will I do that for anyone. That one.
Yeah. So the computer science thing is solid, and I really think when you get into it, I think the workflow of that and like the amount of like big picture stuff you get done in that job opens your eyes and even makes like doing our creative stuff a little more easier and fun, you know? Like, you know what I mean? So I love that plan. What have you done any like internships with that at all yet, or are you still relatively new to it?
I'm like still relatively new to it. Right now I'm taking CS1, which is like a weed out class. It's like probably one of the like there's CS1 and CS2, and after you pass those, you kind of pretty much have your degree done. So it's like I took like a couple computer science classes, and now it's up to that class, and it's a weed out class. So I'm like literally on the verge where I'm like, I need to push it through, but it's like I don't understand it. It's just going, but trying to figure it out as I go, kind of.
Yeah. And I think right now we're in the prime area of like, you know, having that coding knowledge is very, very essential. Like here in a few decades, maybe it won't be as essential because it'll be more of a common knowledge. But right now that isn't an asset. Like it's going to last for a while, you know?
Yeah. And I mean, as like, as much as it is, it's also kind of getting like teared down by ChatGPT. like, I don't know if this is the new update, but chat can now search the web, and it's like that leaves it with like a lot of knowledge, and like a lot of these new tools that are coming out and all this stuff is using that AI technology to like draw information. Like people are making infinite calculators and all this stuff using like referencing chat. So it has like, you don't have to know like use like general like different bodies of codes throwing data in there. It's just one segment of chat refraining everything from like whatever you ask it. So you can make anything with that technology now.
And you think that's a threat to you, like in your job? Like, are you worried about that?
Not really, but it's definitely something to worry about, because although you do need people to code, a lot of I think about a year ago, like as I was doing like one of my classes, I saw on the news like a lot of people from Microsoft and Google lost their job, not because of this, but on top of this, there are people that they can hire back in different countries that do the job for people here way less. If you're paying someone here like 120K for a job, you can hire 6 people over there for 10K to 12K each who would also do that, and you can distribute that. So make sure there's no problem within the job that you're giving one person to do, because it's being distributed within 6 different processes. So that's kind of been one of the things, but it's like, I'm not really worried, because there will always, like, my degree is not just computer science, it's interdisciplinary. So my degree is split into 3. I have graphic design, computer science, and marketing. So I always can switch to different outputs of work, because I'll have like enough information on each one of those. So
I've never heard of that. How do you break that down? Like, how do you have the 3 kind of emphases?
So it's basically like building your own major, basically. It's not really looked at as the best thing, because it's like, say you want to get a job in the computer science field, they're going to look at you and be like, okay, like you only know a section of what these other people that we're trying to recruit know. Why should we hire you? So they're most likely not going to hire you in that sense. But it's like, if you're looking for a very specific job, like a project management, graphic design in some marketing field, it's like the best for you, because you have all 3 like in your pocket. You know every one of those, you're perfect for the job. So it's like one of those things. So I have to figure out exactly what niche-based job I'm looking for in that section, and then I could figure that out. But
yeah. So what's the title of your degree called, with all those 3 things in mind?
Oh, where'd it go? All right, can you see me?
Yeah, you're chilling.
I just cut off for a second, my bad.
You're chilling.
With that, like, I honestly thought of like working like in a company like TikTok or something, or YouTube, and being like some type of back-end marketing, like project manager or something like that. Not necessarily in the marketing, but project management side. So don't really have to code, but I also have information on the graphic end and the marketing end. So I could be that person that puts it together.
Yeah.
No, there has to be a position like that.
Right. Oh, 100%. Well, I think that's unique, like that kind of style. Like at my school, graphic design and marketing and computer science are in 3 different schools. You know what I mean? Because there are colleges. Like you have the main college, but then you have your college of design college.
Oh yeah, same with us. Yeah, have like the different colleges too. Like,
and there's a way you can just kind of combine them all together with all 3 emphases. That's really cool.
Right. But imagine like it's almost like a minor. Like you're doing like 3 different minors, and all 3 combined into one is like a whole major itself.
Right.
But they hate it when you refer to it as a minor. They call it 2 big segments and 1 little one. So that's how they like referring to it. But it's usually that. You're just taking classes from they have a requirement. It tells you like what specifically you need to fulfill to get that side satisfied. So it's usually like you need to take like 3 lower level, like 5 upper level classes in this thing, and you can pick from these. And there's like prerequisites for those, but that's about it. There's not like, they don't go too in depth with any of the ones.
Yeah. And I could be tripping out, but maybe during your time doing college before UCF, were you like looking into being maybe a doctor, or was that? Yeah.
Actually, a nurse teacher. And I almost went through with it. I did like all my stuff. I think a lot of people know this. I changed my major like probably like a good amount of times. I've tried everything. Like I went from I went from nursing to graphic design to uh web design to video game management, like video game illustrating design line, which was all the way in downtown. So I like moved to a whole different school in downtown, and then I moved back, and I'm like, I'm not doing that. And finally, I had so many, like I pretty much had my associates done with random classes, and I was like, holy crap, like I have to restart whatever I started. And then I stumbled across interdisciplinary, which is like, okay, you don't have to do anything. You might lose a little bit of credit, but it's like you can use this, and combine it, and you wouldn't lose like your entire like 60 credits, and you can just reuse it and just keep going. And I was like, okay, that sounds like the best option for me.
No kidding, man. Like I said, like computer science, like that would be, if I were to restart life and go somewhere hard at thing, like that would be, I like that. I like where you're going towards. Well, you know, the emphasis and whatever, but
Right.
you know what I mean. That
Yeah.
is so sick. Yeah.
It's hard to maintain time when it comes to that, because it's like let alone last week, I had like an economy quiz, like one of my first economy quizzes, microeconomy quiz due, and I also had like two big computer science assignments that like took probably the entire week. Like you have to grind it out for a couple like for 8 to 10 hours each day for a whole week to output that. And on top of that, I directed one music video and served as a assistant director in another video. And like it was my friend who was moving to LA, and we grinded that out, and it was, by the end of it, I was insanely exhausted, because it's like I had no time to even breathe. Like there were days where I like didn't even sleep, and I just would just finish the video, like eat, and then like it was somehow like 5 a.m. and I would just like stay up and go to class, and that was it. Like
I get it, bro. How quick did you turn that thing around?
I would say like it sounds like I had the whole thing in the bag, but like there were like after the whole thing, I did put a couple like the rest of the hours that I had into the assignment stuff, and me and a whole bunch of other students did not like get the assignment down perfectly, because there's so much of the code, bro. Like we worked like a whole week, and we got like our achievement was the code finally runs. So that's how bad it was. Like it was like even like we couldn't even get the code to run. So
Right.
it was an L we got, but like, you know, like the best we got is probably like a 50, and the class gets curved, so it's not too off.
Right. How about the music video?
Oh, I mean, we did amazing on it. We probably shouldn't say this on video, but we trespassed like on what's it called? It was an abandoned set that me and my friend had scouted out before, and it was like one of the, you know, first music videos I've actually like had a whole like team on. And it was like we scouted out the location. We scout like the day that we went to the location, it was like there were like sheriffs lined up like in the back end of it was an abandoned resort, and like there were people scouting it out, and everyone's like, no, like we should cancel it. I was like, no, like if we're already here, we drove an hour, let's just get it done. And like we went, we got it done. It was super sketch. Like there's supposedly a homeless man that lives there. His name's Jack, and you're like, let's not meet Jack. We got pepper spray just in case. It was whack. But at the end of the day, like we got that done. The video came out super amazing. We made it work because my friend was moving literally like 2 days within the like shooting these two music videos. So he's like packing half the time, half the gear's like probably already left. He shipped it out. So it's like we made stuff work. Like at one point we had a car rig, I think you saw on my story. And like we went out, we set it up just to realize he didn't have the tool to screw it in. So I had to think in the moment it was literally like 3 a.m. and we're already like 35 minutes from the house. And he doesn't even know if he has in the house, and we're all tired. Like the artist has to go home. Like he has like work in the morning. So I was like, okay, like think fast. So I just took my belt off, put the belt around the camera, somehow secured it. We got the shot and we wrapped it up. It's like, I wanted to get something down rather than nothing, because my friend was going to ship out his car rig literally the next day, and we just didn't have time. So I was like, the best case scenario is just making it work in some way. And that's always been my like idea, like of anything, you know, just get the shot no matter what at any cost. And I've always been doing that, whether it's UCF or my own shoots or whatever I'm directing. It's just not the best situation, but you know, you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, how was working with kind of a team? You know, what how big was it and whatever?
So it's not as big as I'm describing it. We did
No, yeah, I get it.
different things, but like my friend who had the gear, like this was my first time directing a video on a red camera. It was at first it was like kind of scary because I'm like, wait, like I don't know if I'm at the level where I can direct something on like on a set like that we're like making. Like it's always been a run and gun shoot for me. But you know, like I was like, okay, you know what, like I'll make the best of it. And the person, like my friend DJ who I did work with, he had the camera, he had the supply, he had like expensive lights, and he took care of it mostly because, you know, he is a DP and he's trying to be in that DP scene a lot. So he's been like, he took care of the lights, he took care of everything, and like I just had to, you know, do my job as a director. We obviously had like my roommates helping with just holding the light in this way or that way, playing the song, stuff like that. But it was definitely fun, like being like a director of some sort for the first time, because it's always been like a run and gun shoot, you know, you just shoot like the artist rapping and stuff. But adding in a vibe, adding in an image of what you're creating before you even create it is definitely like one of those things that are not easy, and I've never really done that before.
Yeah, me and you, we don't do that thing called pre-production all the time. We just kind of do our
It's
thing.
like, it's no world, like people that's an essential to them, and it's so cool to see that.
Yeah, that was my first question. Was like, how the heck did you get that gear, bro? Like you had like a off-camera monitor that you're looking at, everything. Like it looked sick, man.
I know, I'm like doing it, I was so hyped. I'm like sitting there like looking at a thing being like, yeah, yeah, make sure we need a little bit more energy. Let's get a little bit more light on them. Let's change this, let's change that. And I'm like, wow, like I'm actually doing this. Like this is so cool. Even though this is not it, like the artist is one of my childhood best friends or friends, yeah. And like we grew up together. And when I first like actually got a camera, like we would goof around with the camera all the time. So it was like watching something like that grow into like actually making a video for him was actually kind of cool.
Yeah, I mean, I've just found out that very rarely do you get an opportunity because you earned it. I mean, you earn it, whatever, but it's usually because you know someone. And I don't discredit that. I'm like, hey, we've been buddies. Like this is a gig, you know. I'm gonna treat it as a gig. It is surreal,
Sorry, judge me.
but
No, I like
yeah, go ahead.
Oh, my bad. I was saying, yeah, I found that out low-key like last year too. Like it's like you never, or it's like you know someone or someone knows someone that is like, okay, I know a guy, and that's how
Yeah.
it happened.
Yeah. Like that T-Mobile thing. I saw you get on that, and I'm like, let's go, Melly.
Yeah, I saw it on the chat. It was like
Yeah.
I was, dude, it's so crazy because like me, Ari, and the boys, we were literally walking down to like the beach where there's no reception as he posted it. So literally, if he texted that within like 3 to 5 minutes later, it would have been someone else. And the guy, like Con was telling me too, the guy that was like directing the whole thing, he was like, he told me in the car on our way back from the shoot, he was like, yeah, like Con told me you answered the thing first and he sent your number first. And he was like, the guy said, she was like, I could have picked anyone, but like, you know, I saw your name first. I wanted to give you a try, and that's how it goes. So sometimes it's not even about talent, bro. Like literally, if you're first in line, people are gonna hit you up, and the luck just works from there. If you pass the vibe check, that's all it takes.
Right.
I don't even think he needed to see any of my work because it was so simple and stuff. He just like he gave me a call and was like, okay, like here's what we need to do. Here's what we need to get done. Here's the payout. And I was like, 3K T-Mobile. Can I take this on? Like, can I actually perform like at a level they need me to be? So I was super sketched out at first, but I was like, you know what? Like, I can do this. I just cannot mess up.
Yeah. I mean that. You know, there's a little bit of corporate BS in there too. Like they make it seem like a crazy gig, but at the end of the day, like you knew exactly how to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. It was like, it was insane because I almost am sure you don't even need to be a videographer of any sort to do what they did. All I did was literally move a tripod and like they didn't even need me to like give them ideas, but I did anyways. I was like, okay, this angle might be a little bit better. This crop is a little bit better. This lighting is a little bit better. all that stuff. But it was as simple as like they could have done it themselves too. Honestly, they didn't even need a team. It was Ariana Matrix, who was like she was a like an actor back in the day or whatever, who was a talent for the video, and T-Mobile reached out to her to make just a video herself, but she was like, oh, like I don't know how to and stuff, like I want to make this good, so she got a team on it. So low-key, we didn't even need a team. She could have. It was as simple as she just makes a video about it. So
Right. And at the end of the day, if you like, make a little client list, you can be like, yep, done work for T-Mobile,
I mean, it's all crazy to see because I didn't think it was not even a video, it was a reel. So like when I like posted about it, like I didn't even check up on it. One of my friends sent the reel and was like, yo, this video got like 1.3 mil like views. Really crazy. And I was like, wow, like that's actually cool. Like, cause they didn't credit me or anything, but it's like, if I know, I know, you know what I mean? Like,
dang, that's fun. That's fun.
yeah.
I bet you got those other 2 jobs from just connections too. Or maybe no.
Oh, what?
Be real.
Really?
Yeah.
What's it called? The guy I worked with, the wrestling thing that flew me out, we actually, Respective Collective, right? Respective me and one of my buddies from the internship, we worked for Respective Collective. Like for that gig, we were reached out. So we shot like that family like before, like last year in the wintertime, or actually springtime. So they reached out again and they wanted to work with me instead of like reaching out through them and all that stuff. So I was like, okay, whatever. So that was from a peer connection. And even the other one was like a peer connection too. They were, a friend of a friend knew, like, I mean, the guy was following me from a while and he was trying to create a team of photographers that could, take care of this entire event. And he just reached out. And fun fact, I actually, like, I don't know if you're going to touch on this, but I actually was not following him. So I had to, occasionally I check my requests and stuff and I see, the DM, and sometimes they're bots and stuff. So you don't really like always trust them, but this one seemed pretty genuine. And he was like, this is the gig, this is this. So I was like, okay. So I messaged him back and he was like, what's your email? He sent me all the information and stuff. And it actually ended up being for real. And the guy he lived in my neighborhood. I didn't even know this.
Yeah.
Like we were living in the same neighborhood and everything. It's actually really funny.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's literally as easy as checking your like requests and stuff, because you never know who sees your work. Like people repost stuff and you don't know who they're following or who's following them and stuff. So it could, next thing you know, you post a piece of work that you don't think is like cool and Shaq is seeing your work, or like Kobe's dead, but
Frick. Oh, no.
Why not you do like Steph Curry or like Travis Scott see your work? Who knows? Like work just flies around nowadays, and I really find that to be really cool.
It really does. I mean, I consider myself a small creator. You're a creator a little bit bigger than me, but it's like still both of us, we've covered millions of eyes between me and you. Like it's crazy how stuff gets seen.
Yeah. And this, our circle is so big that like even just our little friend group, we have so many people in different areas and they like occasionally repost our work. So it's like so many different people are just seeing our work and they don't probably even speak English. And it's so insane to me. Like I know my cousin back in, I'm taking a trip back to my home country like in the wintertime. So hopefully I create something cool. But every time I create it, he doesn't have to, but he reposts my stuff and all his friends see it. And it's like, these kids are like, yo, like, does your like cousin work for Netflix? Cause this is like Netflix level, like film, like what's going on? Like, he sends me all that stuff, like people saying it. And I'm just like, wow, that's actually so cool. Like that these people think I'm making a Netflix film, but it's literally just like my life, little scenes of my life recorded and color graded and music. It's actually funny to see.
Yeah.
So like that, like I create for it. It's like, you see other people like feel a certain way about your work, and it's, to you it might not be that big of a deal, but other people see it in a bigger aspect.
Yeah, we're usually pretty hard on ourselves. We're not gonna give it to ourselves like what we're doing, but once you kind of get a few of the, like, we shouldn't rely on those type of comments or whatever, but they make the old heart feel good when you hear them.
Most definitely, yeah,
for sure.
Anything happen, Sinbug.
No. So yeah, all this crap aside, man, where the heck did you get started on all this crap? Why has your life been around, making content whenever? How did you find out about this crap?
Okay, it's funny to say. I actually used to like I was in one of my friends growing up. He was we're not really friends much anymore, but he was into like film like a lot, and he was a Canadian, he was rich. He always had like expensive camera equipment. And me as a kid, I would always watch like those channels on YouTube like teaching men's fashion, or they would teach like how to take care of yourself as a guy. And I was like, wow, like I want to be that guy. I want to be that alpha guy. So I was like, as a joke in high school, I was like, okay, like probably not even as a joke. I'm so serious. I was like, I want to be one of those guys, like, but for teenagers. So me and him started recording, and it was so cringy. After a couple videos down, like videos like, oh, then my wake up morning routine, my night routine, or shopping for high school kids under $100, something like that. Um, and I was like, after a while, I was like, wow, I can't. He started getting busy. He ended up getting a girlfriend. So I was like, okay, he's not able to help me out like that much, but I need to do this on my own. And I got a camera after like persuading my mom for a super long time. Um, and what ended up happening was I finally saved up enough to get a camera. But by then I was like, wow, like there's so much I can do with this camera. Like, well, it first started out with, how like those YouTube influencers mostly push out their content on Instagram first. So they take like cool fit pictures in nature, and then they edit it and post it. So it started off as that. And then I somehow discovered Sam Colder, like within like a couple of days of that. And I was like, wow, like this is, never mind, scratch all of that. I want to be a travel photographer. So we started going on family trips. I would create little videos and stuff. I could send you a couple like stupid like first videos I've made. Started off as that, and then I was like, wow, like this is cool. I started like taking him. I was trying to get my parents to go on more trips. We went out to New York. I made a little New York montage that I never even used, and fast forward, I lost, like my hard drive broke and stuff. So I don't even have those clips. And it's like I was just walking around with a camera thinking I could literally do what these people are doing in this industry, because that's all it takes to get started. And I kept going, and I kept going, and I kept going. And it turned from like a kid wanting to be a little YouTube fashion thing to like being a videographer, filming various different things. Like for one moment I could be filming a concert, to like literally like teen ninjas to like UCF football. So it was like so cool to see that you can do so much thing with various different things. And people, almost all of my work is based around people. It's fan shots, ambience, how I see the world. And once I found that people were seeing the way I'm seeing the world, it was so cool, because it could have been just I'm feeling down and I throw like, one of my videos recently, it was just I was not feeling it, and I found a sound that just I vibed with, and it was literally shots of me going through like when I wasn't feeling so well. It was as simple as me walking through like a hike or running through a field, and people were like, wow, this is a really calm video. And it made me feel better, because I'm like, wow, like other people are seeing how I feel without me having to write some embarrassing words on like how I'm feeling, or how like this happened, that happened, all this stuff. I don't need that. I don't like, it's just people feel that way that I feel while I'm creating this video. And that just was enough for me. They didn't have to like it. They didn't have to comment. That's just what I wanted from the video, and I got that.
Yeah. And what's your first moment where like, you were posting, that stuff, trying to get into it, seeing Sam Colder? When did you first like connect with someone about maybe your video or their video? Like, who's your first connection online where you're like, oh my gosh?
It wasn't even like a oh my god, this big person just followed me. It was as simple as like, we're not as close anymore, but I would say my best friend is literally Matthias. And it was as simple as we were both like in a group chat of like this creator we knew, and it was just his engagement group chat. And he was like the only person I kind of followed from that thing. And at the time, one of my other friends were rapping, and he was like, he wanted to create a music video, but I had the idea like, what if I get a couple different individuals from, like, as that time is when I discovered like all these other creators like around different parts of the world, but none of us were even close to big yet. So I was like, what if I get different individual creators to work on one music video, but get like 6 different visions into one, and it's like an insane video.
Oh, I remember that, bro. I think I remember that.
You were there. I reached out to Matthias, and he was like, okay, like, I can help with that. That is how the Glizzy Gobblers were made. He made a group chat, and that group chat, that video ended up falling through. He wasn't even serious about the video, but that small little canon event led to where I am today. Like, that group chat gave me so much purpose within, like, when I first started, I was just doing it just because I had a camera in my bedroom. But I saw like the amount of talent in that group, and I'm like, this is insane. We have Neve out here like filming with just little stuff, and he's doing crazy stuff. Matthias was creating crazy visuals, and I was like, wow, like, I need to hop on this. I need to start taking this stuff serious. And I did. And within, I think it marks like 3-4 years now that I took it seriously, and it's like I'm doing insane things. And even all of them, like, Neve is literally the king of underground now. Like, he's literally filming for any artist that we could think of underground, and it's really cool. And Matthias is like, he's been taking off ever since that. And we did a little collab video. I don't know if you remember that little Glizzy Gobbler like collaboration video.
Yeah.
Like our year or whatever. And that was like the first film I actually made, like, that was like, I would say good. If you scroll all the way down my page, I'm pretty sure that's my first ever video that I even kept on there.
Yeah.
And that was like, from that point on, it just took off.
Yeah. That's what I was getting confused by. I didn't join right away because I wasn't quite in the circle yet. But over time, I would have joined, and then that collab video that you actually did put out was happening. So yeah, it's just crazy to me, you know?
Yeah. And it's like, I mean, regardless, like, even now, like, years down the line, like, it's like, nothing has changed. Like, no matter who's in what industry, we're all still friends. Like, I mean, like, our friends that literally made a whole, like, clothing company. Like, I'm wearing it right now, Compass. Yeah. Where, like, they, like, even you make clothes, and it's like, there's so much, it's just so much more than just video and photo. It's like people are doing, like, continue their story in all different aspects. Like, prints, clothing, you know, whatever it is, it's amazing.
Yeah, I tried to find one person that just dropped off the map. I couldn't find one. Like, each of them are doing something. Or if they did drop off the map, they did it for a good purpose, and they're doing something purposeful. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
I could not find one person that's just like not going after it. It made creating and whatever around it feel a little less isolating, and gave us the confidence to go out and do it. You know, so Glizzy Gobblers is a piece of history. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, it's definitely, as funny as it sounds, it is a big movement. And you remember, you've been following me for so long. Like, I've almost quit so many times because, you know, like, changed my major. I'm like, I need to dedicate a full-time amount of time to this. Like, right as I switched to computer science, I like literally almost let it go. But there's been so many people that are like, dude, you don't need to let it go. Like, keep continuing it, but just don't put as much as emphasis on it. And it's like, now that I look at it, I've been wanting to quit so many times that now I can't see myself quitting it. It will always be like something that, you know, I will do. Like, even if it's not big, it would just be like a dad with a camera. Like,
yeah. No, I like how you're viewing it. Like, I've been viewing my life more like on a project basis. Like, this is just a project. So like, kind of computer science is just like one of your many projects that you're going to be doing throughout the years. Like, you still got time to do all the extra crap. So I like kind of how you're viewing that. I think that's a good way to go about it.
Yeah, it's like with life, like, you never know where it could go. Like, at the end of the day, it just comes down to, like, you know, what you're feeling in the moment. Like, right now I could be feeling like, you know, a videographer, but the next moment I'm like, you know, I want to be a marketer. I want to be like a project manager or something. So it just varies. Like, your feelings change, your mood changes. It comes and goes, but it's just one of those things. Like, with video, I don't see myself letting it go anytime soon.
No, like, we got the skills, you know, might as well keep it somewhat. Yeah.
Right. And it doesn't even have to be like in an industry. You just create just to create. That's what I did, like, for most of my life. And we see it like happen with a lot of people. Like Andre, people hire him not because he's creating for them, But they see him create the content. They're like, we need that for what? Like, you just do your thing, but for us. And that's how he's getting work. And don't sell yourself. I mean, don't sell your work, sell yourself, because that's what people are buying at the end of the day.
Yeah, no, I've been working on my old personal brand just because I think it's so valuable. I mean, Andre's really got it down with his style and stuff like that. Seeing him get sent stuff and, you know, getting paid for that stuff, he's got it down, man. He's doing.
Yeah. Like, he recently just shot. I was on call with him. He recently just shot a concert, and it's like Andre, a concert. Like, those are two things that I didn't think I would see anytime soon. But it was like, I didn't know how it would work, but once I saw the video, I was like, wow, like, this is exactly what, like, I would see Andre do at a concert. Like, film people, film, like, stuff that he's been doing on his own, just going to, like, festivals and, on rides, just filming his foot and, like his friends having fun. That's exactly what he's doing out here, but now he's getting paid.
Yeah. SoCal Andre's about to be a new breed of, like, crazy. Oh, I'm so excited to see it.
And it's not even SoCal. It's literally like LA Andre. He's literally with Ari and all of them like every other day.
Yes.
It's really funny to see, because it's like, for so long we've been like all in different sections, and now like different homies are with different people, and it's like for crying out loud, Noah and Ari and all of them live together. And every time I go, it's like, I'm just like, wow, this started as like literally a Instagram group, and now these are roommates. Like,
yeah, it's absolutely nuts. I almost have too many people in LA I need to visit now. It's kind of crazy just from like online connections.
Bro, for real. Like, every time I go, even like one of the people I went with for my first trip, my one of my best friends, Reese, he used to make music and stuff. You know that song In the Middle of the Night?
If I listen to it, probably, maybe.
Yeah. Like,
Who's it by?
Ellie something.
Gotcha. I'll listen to it afterwards.
Anyways, the song went viral and stuff. Fast forward, like, me and him go out to LA. He was telling me about this one girl and stuff, and I was like, oh, cool. He is dating that girl. Like, she is like a big musician, and they like, he moved out to LA, and like, they've been dating for like a year now. It's like wow, like, that's actually yeah. So like, I think I went out to LA like 2 times after that, and every time I'm like, yo, like, I'll come out and see you again and all this stuff, and it's like, I'm so busy with people, and it's like, I don't even have a ride, so it's like, I can never find time. There's so many people out there. It's like, to spend time with everyone, you have to be out there for more than a week at least.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I got family there too, so like, I got way too much. Like, I got family there, and then I got all these creators. And they're all along the coast too. Like, I got to go to Santa Barbara. You got to go to LA. I got to go to Orange County. I mean, it's just such a big area, but they're all in there, bro.
That is. Yeah.
Guess who else? Guess who else just moved there?
Who?
Henry Smizik. You know that name?
No way.
Yeah, he's in LA now.
Logic tour. What happened to the Logic tour?
Oh wait, well, yeah, that's over with now. Like, oh yeah, yeah. So he did that. I mean, he's been doing crazy stuff. So it's fine. It's cool to see him in an area that he's been wanting to be in for a while. But like, just another person I gotta visit. It's fun.
It's actually crazy. You know, like, see, Henry always had crazy work, but never in a million years would I thought him and Logic would be like a thing that I would see out in the real world. And it's like, I saw Logic appreciating Henry at a time.
Yeah.
And I was like, this just made my month. Like, forget a day, forget an hour. Like, this made my entire month. Seeing someone's music I listen to, like, appreciate their videographer, put so much respect for both of them. And I was like, wow, like, this is really amazing.
I think that's funny you say that. I sent that video to my mom and dad, and I'm like, this is what I do this for. Like, this type of stuff is like, warms your heart, man.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't happen that often. Like, the way he described Henry and all that stuff, like, let alone just, you know, talking about your videographer at your concert, giving the light to someone like that. And then the way he described it was just like, you know, brought tears into my eyes. Like, it was beautiful.
It's beautiful. And you know, like, you know, we have our own goals, but like, that's one of his goals that he just completed. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
That's his top artist of all time. I mean, that's just crazy to me.
I mean, I'm super happy for him, like, that he got to shoot with an artist like that. Like, growing up, getting the music scene, I was like, okay, like, I want to be my biggest dream, forget nursing, forget computer science, it's always been being a tour videographer / photographer for an artist. Like being able to go on a private jet, hop on a concert and like wrap it up and just hop back in. You never know where you're going to. Like this morning, you could be literally anywhere. It was like just a perfect idea for me. Seeing like Sam Colder do that with like Odessa or Coldplay and stuff like that. I was just like, wow, like this is like insane.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's something I wanted to do, but then I was like, getting into the scene, it's like, it's a lot harder than you think it is, because no video artist is just like picking up their like a single videographer for like that, and even if they do, something that happened with Little Tekka and stuff, Little Tekka hired like Galactic hired Bryson, and he chose a smart decision. What he ended up doing was every town he went to, he would pick couple videographers from that town to come shoot for him. And then he would have different types of like creatives create their own vision for Lil Tecca, and he would put it together. And that way he wasn't really working all that much, but he would have so much, like an abundance of different like styles brought into one. And they would like, me, Matthias, and Devin, and Artie, we all picked it up, and like we created something really cool. And that was like the first time I actually ever shot like a concert, and it was so cool to see and like connect with someone like I looked up to, because Bryson has been shooting Rolling Loud for such a long time, and I would see him do it, and I was like, wow, like that is who I want to be when I grow up.
Yeah. No, so to this day, you still feeling that?
Yeah, to this day, I see him like he's kind of laid off a little bit, but he's still one of my top inspiration. And I'm glad I got to work with like a lot of people I looked up to, thanks to like Matthias and a lot of the other creatives I worked with. But it was like working with Bryson would have never been possible if it wasn't for Matthias, like, because Matthias, he was following Matthias. So when Matthias reached out, Matthias was a chief for this. He reached out to Bryson, but instead of being like, hey, my friend wants to shoot this, Matthias flew all the way down from California to Florida to stay with me for a week. And he was like, okay, I'm going to film it, and I want to bring my friends into it. And it was, that is the most G shit like I've ever witnessed. And Matthias will always be my number one inspiration, and then everyone else is like below that. But
yeah,
like that man is just, he's always a homie.
Yeah.
He'll always be there.
He's everyone's, no matter how close you are to him now, he's everyone's first name when you talk about like the chats and stuff. It's like, oh yeah, Matthias. Mine's Matthias. My first social media connection, like authentic was like Matthias plugging me in.
I'm saying he's a founding father, because he does not judge, no matter like how small or how big the creator is. He always sees everyone as the same. And a bunch of the time, Matthias had to humble me myself, like, because I would do stuff and I was like, wow, like this is, I'm like so cool and stuff. He would be like, tone it down a notch, bro. Like,
yes.
And he will always be like, you know, he's that one friend that everyone needs.
Right.
No matter if it's video or like anything.
Yeah. It's really easy to get entitled once you get your first like thing. You're like, oh, I'm on the top for it.
And it was, yeah, it's even worse because I got to film one of my favorite artists for my first concert. So I was like, wait, like I'm literally like, I'm about to film Rolling Loud next, and then we're gonna have like Lollapalooza next, and then we'll have this next. And it was like I was skipping so much steps in my head that I almost forgot that there's a lot more to that. You can't land your first concert and expect to reach the top. And this is the same thing Matthias told me. He was like, you know, like if it went from shooting your first concert to Rolling Loud that fast, what's after that? Like you always need something to go up to. You can't always start at the top. So no matter where you are, it's not like you're never gonna go down. You can go down, you can go up, but it's always gonna be like up and down. And that's how I just live in this industry.
Yeah, that's something I've kind of almost taken comfort to, is like, I've just kind of seen life as like, there's always gonna be another problem, and you're gonna find a solution to it, and that's the beauty of it. You know what I mean? So when I'm rushing myself to get myself ahead so I don't have any more problems, I'm like, that's not even realistic, dude. Like this is life. So it like makes me slow down and just appreciate the process of like, hey, I get to solve this problem today. Like this is part of what makes life life.
Exactly. That's it took me a long time to figure that out because I went through like a lot of things with family or relationships and stuff. But one thing I realized was like everything will sort itself out. You just can't let it get to you. Like never lose hope. Like I've been in so many situations where I was like, wow, like it's over. Like, like I can't ever go back to what it was and stuff. But it was like, like things will go back no matter what.
Yes.
Everyone works out.
Yeah. Dude, what's kind of next for you? I'll just let you take that whatever direction you want to.
Low-key don't know. I have like 1.5 years left. I definitely want to do more concerts. I've been shooting more concerts here and there. I definitely just want to do some like find a new direction in a way. I've been getting more into a different style of videography, so it's trying to see where that goes. I'm trying to implement that within different sections of like sports or like concerts or stuff like that. So I've always, how the industry is with different things. It's like a certain person could, like, a project is never just one person. You have a person that does coloring, a person that does sound design and all that stuff. And one thing that I've always made sure to do was I basically, instead of hiring people, like, sure, I'll hire people if I need to, but for the most part, it's usually like I try learning it myself. So I know when I'm looking for someone to do a certain job, I know exactly what I'm looking for and what that is. So I taught myself how to sound design in multiple different ways. I taught myself how to color grade in DaVinci. So I know, like, when I ask someone to color grade what it is, basically building a one-man crew for me. But if I ever do need someone, like, I know what to look for. And it's one of those things where, like, sure, you don't need to do all that. You can optimize your time and hire different people and stuff. But once you learn how to do it, you learn to appreciate that person a lot more and that piece of work a lot more. Because it's so hard for one man to do so many different things, and like doing it humbles you. But
yeah,
I want to like implement that type of stuff. Like I finally found a grade of color that I like and the way of coloring, and every project I do, I look forward to coloring and sound design. But yeah, I want to keep testing out the water and see like what type of work I get. It's always some crazy stuff that, like, I end up just getting like crazy things out of nowhere. It could be like shooting like Ninja Warriors, or like going with a family in the middle of nowhere to film like a wrestling match. It's always something. But one thing, I just want to get a stable amount to where I can create, and I want to like go more towards like the director stand. I feel like I've been just free balling for too long, and it's now time to get a little bit on the more professional level and work as a team. Like UCF is like the only team I've been working for so far, but definitely like in the music video scene or whatever it is, I want to work in more less run and gun and more like profound sets and teams. So
yeah, freaking love it, bro. I appreciate you coming on and talking here for an hour, and it's good to have an intentional combo with you. We haven't in a while, if ever. I don't know if we ever.
Like we talked before, but it wasn't even like, it was just like catching up kind of thing. But this is like we actually like talked about like the journey. Recently.
Freaking love it. Yeah, it's the pod's always an excuse to get a good combo out of someone.
Bro, dude, I've been seeing that, and it's like it was so cool to me when I saw it, and I'm like, wow, like Isaac's doing such a cool job like doing this. I was like, I really need to hop on this, and like just not even to be on the podcast, but just to like see how it goes, because it's so cool seeing like the homies do their thing. Like I see I haven't seen anyone in a circle like push something like this. I'm always here to support the homies however way I can. So
yeah, I appreciate that, and I'm excited. I got some people I need to visit in Florida, so I'm excited to make a stop down here.
Oh, yeah, dude, let me know whenever, wherever it is.
Sounds good, bro. Take her easy, keep her going. Yeah, I'm always here if you need something.
Yeah, bro, same with you. Like, keep sending me your work, bro. I love seeing your work pop up on my feed. Instagram doesn't push it much. I just have to go on your account and like manually see, but keep pushing, bro. I know you're gonna do great things.
Appreciate it, man.